Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. There's another Raid Shadow Legends video, and we are on the test server today. I figured what we were going to do is we need to talk about this Guardian ring that had that big leak that came out over the weekend. That was a bit of drama, not something I'm very happy about. As a result of that, I'm not going to be able to preview Hydra. We're not going to be able to check that out on the test server. So to that CC, way to go. Way to mess it up for everybody. Appreciate you. And so what we're going to be doing, though, is independent of that, we are going to be looking at the Guardian ring today. Just really quickly, I want to give my thoughts on it. I want to give an overview of it. I'm sure you guys understand everything about it, might have heard about it from other people, but I figured I'd put in my own 2 cents because it is kind of the big thing going on right now, and it's going to have a big impact on us in this game. So first thing, if you guys aren't aware, this is the new sparring pit, basically has turned into the Guardian ring. So you still have the sparring pit aspect here, but in addition to that, you have the faction Guardians where you're able to add champions, legendaries, epics, rares, whatever dupes you can put in to help your champions get stronger. It's kind of like a weaker version of the Great Hall, right? Most of the bonuses are fairly small compared to the Great Hall bonuses that you get, about half the strength. The big thing is that you can get some added speed here towards the end. And the other big thing is it does apply to both rare and epic champions, not just legendary champions. And this is really a fun, I think it's a very fun way to use dupe champions in this game, because these bonuses are good for us, right? They're nice. They make your champions stronger. They're also available to everybody in the game. And obviously getting enough dupe legendaries can be an issue, especially because it's divided up by faction. But this is still, to me, feels fun. Even if maybe it's not good for the game, maybe it throws off the balance a little bit. But considering we're going to have few things with the dupe system, this one feels fun. And when they released the ideas of what they were going to do, this was the surprise. This was the one nobody really predicted, nobody really asked for, and we were all pretty happy with it because it's something just a little bit different. It doesn't swing the power of our champions so great that it makes it, that there's going to be this huge difference between whales and dolphins and low spenders and free-to-play players. It doesn't really change the power balance that much. So, overall, people, I think, were very happy with it. I'm really happy with this. It's pretty easy to do. You just click on it, you add your dupes, boom, you move on to the next one, boom, and now they're in there, and you have them, and you get the little bonuses, which is great. Obviously, this is going to mean we're going to need a lot of champions. If you want to max every faction for legendary, epic, and rare that we have so far, that's 390 champions. I mean, that's a lot of champions right there. I don't think that you're going to need to do that. I know myself, I'm not even going to bother with the rare champions. I don't use rare champions enough. And when I do, it's more of a, let's see if I can just use this champion thing rather than let me make the best champion or the best team possible. But this is, I think, a very cool thing because no matter what level in the game you are, this is helpful for you. The other thing that we get, and I'm going to let's talk about this, is the empowerment. Now, the empowerment, boy, this is the controversial one. Well, this is one of the controversial ones. I don't like it. And the reason why I don't like it, I don't mind the empowerment. I knew this was coming, right? I think if anybody had any eye on where they wanted to go with things, how they want to push revenue in this game, you had to know they were going to give us a reason to continue to get duplicate legendaries. Empowerment is an easy, breezy one to do, right? That's a no-brainer type of thing. I will say this, though. Wait before empowering anybody, guys. Do not burn your champions just yet. You're going to want to wait at least until Hydra comes out. There's multiple reasons to be able to use your duplicates coming out, so just hold off on that. But just so we have an idea of how this works, right? Basically what happens, you get 4 champions, they feed them in and they become stronger. You can see all the different champions there. And this is the infamous thing with all the bonuses. At level 1, you get 10% basically across the board, a little bit of accuracy and resistance. When you fully empower someone with 4 duplicates, you're getting a 40% bonus to HP, attack, and defense, 55 extra accuracy, 55 extra resistance, an extra 15 speed, an extra 30% crit damage, and an extra 10% crit rate. I have a lot of issues with this. I don't have an issue with having this system because Mostly because there's no point fighting. I'm not going to be able to, I can't push a mountain. You know what I mean? This is inevitable, but the stats that are being used here are way too strong for, I think, for the good of the game, right? 40% is a lot. Those percentage bonuses are a lot. I'm not worried about that. What worries me is the 55 accuracy, the 55 resistance, and the 15 speed. Because those become much more hard cap numbers, right? The 55 accuracy, that just means if you put that on an end game champion, that means I have no hope of resisting him. The 55 resistance means I have no hope of landing my debuffs with accuracy. The 15 speed means I'm never going to catch that super fast champion. Now, here's the real part about this. This is only going to affect a very small percentage of the game, right? I mean, in any PvP content, obviously this will affect everybody that, is involved with the teams that have empowered champions. But the amount of people that can actually fully empower a champion is very small, like very small. So I'm not as concerned about that. And even if you are fully empowering champion, chances are what you're doing is you're giving up Faction Guardian, right? And you're giving up those bonuses there. So fully empowering champion is a pretty, I think, rare instance. Not to mention it's going to be even more rare that's going to happen to a champion that is one of the meta champions in this game. Now, obviously at the very top of Arena, these are people that have spent, $30, $50, $100,000 on this game. They have lots and lots of champions. They will be able to fully empower a few of these meta champions and have a major leg up on the competition. And when you're talking about the most immediate impact, you're going to see it at the top of the Platinum Arena. And you're going to probably even feel it some if you're trying to push into Arena, right? I mean, you talk about Platinum and that is 300 people. So that group of 300, you will have more than a handful of folks that are going to be able to empower their champions, maybe not all the way, but enough to have an impact. And so in that sense, it is something that is definitely a bad thing for the community, because that push for Plat is the only competitive area in this game. It's the only PvP area of this game. And it drives a lot, not just a lot of revenue, but a lot of player attention. And when you're talking about the whales in this game, that's where a lot of them enjoy competing. So every time they mess with Arena, it knocks them down just a little bit. We have, the possibility of losing one or two of those whales becomes bigger. But of course, this is designed for them, right? You're trying to push that latest thing, trying to be stronger than your opponent. You're going to try and keep pulling shards so you get that fourth dupe and fully ascend your Siphi or your Necrit or your Arbiter or whoever. So that's the pro con with that part. I think the real problem is going to be long term when we're talking about PvE content and balancing it against ascended champions. That's really where it's going to become a major issue. We already see the Doom Tower, for some people that is such a struggle to do, which it's supposed to be, right? That's how it's designed, supposed to be very end game content. Now imagine raising the accuracy level by another 55, or the resistance level by another 55, or the speeds needed by another 15. All of a sudden, now that becomes a lot tougher, and that affects everybody, regardless of whether you have those dupes or not. So I think long-term, the big fear is, what is this going to do for our PvE content, as, for those players that don't have a lot of dupes? I spent, over $10,000 on this account, and I have like 2 champions that I can rank up to +3. I think it's Rosin and it's Candrafon. And I'm sorry, +2. So I don't even have enough dupes to really take advantage of this system. And I've been playing for, 3 years. I spent a fair amount of money, way more than any reasonable person should. And I'm already, I can't take full advantage of this. So it's not going to affect that many people, but especially as they keep introducing champions, watering down the pool, the chance of getting dupes is going to be harder and harder to do. So I think, just kind of keeping that stuff in mind, recognizing that in the short term, this is probably not going to affect any of you out there that are listening to me. And if it is, you are one of the rare few that pushes Platinum every week. In the long term, it could affect all of us, but what I mean in that is in tougher PvE content. However, here's the plus side. Everything that we can do now, we're still going to be able to do. shouldn't affect any of that. So it's not like it's going to be lowering the ability of your teams to do any of the content we have currently. In fact, it's only going to enhance it with the faction guardian part, with the empowerment part. Your champions are just getting stronger. They're like, there's no way to doubt to change that. So all the existing content we have only gets easier. So in that sense, it's not a terrible thing. My fear is the PvE content that comes down the road, and how difficult that will be for new players coming into the game, for those of us that don't have the the luck to get a bunch of dupes. And so that's where it's going to be really, really tricky, I think. Other parts we have unbinding the champions, which gives you tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and unbind my Mountain King here. You can see every legendary, you get 500 tokens. It does not matter if they are a legendary champion, a void champion, does not have an impact on it, guys. So unfortunately, you are not getting more points. If I pulled out my other, one of my other guys from in here, I would not get extra points just because they are void. So, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get 500 points regardless, which, that's a whole other thing. But I'm going to unbind my Mountain King. There you go. Got 500 life tokens for him. And great. And I can take that here to the token trader. And if I trash another 5 or 7 legendary champions, I can get a new one. This is a part where I know most of you are going to be furious about, and I think you well should. I think this is trash. The fact that it's going to cost me 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 of these life tokens. This is I have to exchange 5 legendaries for 1, 6 legendaries for 1, 8 legendaries for 1. None of this surprises me. I'm going to let you know that up front. This is what I predicted it would be, right? I said I hoped it was between 3 to 5, and I was pretty sure it was going to be higher. I actually was a little bit afraid it might be higher than this, but this is still terrible. The fact that I've already spent my money, I've already gotten my legendaries, and I just want a better exchange system for them. Something in the 3 to 1, even 5 to 1, but like 6 to 1, but 3 to 1 is really where this should be, because you already paid for these guys, right? Just make them useful for us. My guess, and I'm going to 100% say this to you guys, absolutely none of you should be using this system. Nobody should be using the token trader. I don't care how badly you want a Sir Nicholas. Nobody should use this system. It's not worth it. It's simply not worth it. If I had 8 dupes of any champion, you're better off putting those in the faction guardian system. Full stop, right? And if that champion's actually good, put them in the faction guardian system and then empower them. That is a much better use of those champions than burning them and getting these tokens. This is 100% not the way to go, guys. None of these champions, look at these champions that are available here. We've got Molly, Fushan, Sir Nick, Foley, Tomb Lord, Minaya. None of these champions are meta champions. They will not change your account. Even Sir Nick, who everybody loves, unkillable champion. These are not champions that are fundamentally going to change your account. These are not worth burning your tokens for, your champions for. Don't do it. That's the trap, right? And so when we're introducing this kind of a system, this kind of exchange system, the financial rate of it needs to be pretty good. This is not good, right? Not only are we not getting more points for the void duplicates that we'd have in our possession, which we 100% should, since clearly void champions are worth more to them. We should be getting more points for that. But the idea that 6 of my champions are equal to 1 new one is a terrible exchange rate. Not to mention, none of these champions are meta, like I was saying. There's no, one thing that would be great for them to have in here is like man-eaters, the mythos, champions that can actually, change your account and be a little meta. I would 100%, if there was a 500 coin man-eater out there, that would be worth it for a lot of people to change their clan boss team and pull a man-eater instead of any of these champions, right? I think, the ones that they have up there, these are all fine champions. None of these are bad champions. I would definitely be happy if I pulled any of these on my account, and I have pretty much all of them. And I use a lot of them. But in no way, shape, or form are these champions worth 6, 5, 8 of your dupes. So 100% don't touch this. This is the trap here. So what does this all mean? Basically what this means is you can expect the PvE content that is coming down the road to be only harder, and that's fine. I don't really see a problem with that. But it's going to be, we're going to have to see how they balance that with these empowered champions that people have versus the unempowered champions. I think I think that's the biggest concern, right? Because you want new content, but we all remember how Doom Tower came out and people were like, this is impossible. This is too hard. And part of that's on us as a community, because honestly, it was supposed to be hard. That's not a bad thing, right? It was supposed to be the end game content. Well, now with this dupe system and the empowerment system, we're going to have even more, that bar is getting raised. Now, you can talk about things like the Hydra boss that's coming out, and boy, the Hydra boss looks interesting. I'm real nervous about it. I'm real interested to see how that actually plays, because I think there's a lot of, while there's a lot of things I like about it, there's a lot of things there are a couple mechanics that they've shown that worry me a little bit, just as far as like the health of the system. That said, it's gonna be fine. It's nothing, game breaking within it. But how difficult that is, I'm pretty sure that it's balanced more around the empowered champions than the ones that we have right now. And so you can kind of expect the content to continue like that. One of the biggest things that I think we should be concerned about is, I know they are going to be pushing in 2022 more PvP content, right? I'm not sure if that's a real-time arena, or if that's going to be a clan style arena battle. But whatever it is, we're going to start going against other people, and that empowerment all of a sudden is going to have a much bigger factor. And I think the biggest part of that, I don't know if you guys have played a lot of games like that, like maybe Clan versus Clan or something like that, but I remember in Clan versus Clan, you would build your defense not to kill the enemy, but just to stall them, right? Just to make it so they can't kill you. And I think the biggest fear with something like the Guardian Ring and the empowerment system is, all of a sudden you're going to start seeing, and you're probably going to start seeing this in arena defenses already, where you're going to start seeing teams made up of Siphi, Duchess, Rector Drath, Vogoth. I know Rector Drath and Vogoth are both epic champions, but what you're going to see teams made up of 4 legendaries that are all unbelievably tanky. Ursuga and Necrit, right? You're going to see Ursugas, Necrits, Siphies, and Duchess. That's going to be the meta arena team, arena defense, right? You're going to see all of them, because once you start empowering those champions, they become so much harder to kill. And so, you're adding, another 40%, 50% when you talk about the faction bonus of their base HP. That's another 10,000 HP to go with the shield set that they have, right? Or to make it so that you can't nuke them down. And you have Ursuga out there making sure that nobody takes damage, Necrit out there making sure nobody takes damage, and you got Siphi and Duchess reviving everybody, blocking debuffs, continuing to do this, and they're resisting all the debuffs, of course, because now they have an extra 55 resistance on top of that. You can kind of see where this is going. It becomes this cycle of, I can't kill you, you can't kill me. And then this part of the game just became the most dull, boring part of the game I've ever seen. Right? And I know they're going to be introducing more debuffs, more, abilities and stuff like that to help counter these metas and balance this stuff out. But my fear is, with the empowerment, that's what's going to happen. That kind of team is going to start becoming the meta team. And those aren't fun teams. They're not fun teams for anybody on offense. They're just not enjoyable to fight. So this is, I think, my biggest concern right now is, that's going to be the big thing in arena. And I think that is something that we should keep an eye out, see how that progresses, because I think that's going to be the biggest problem going forward. I 100%, guys, however you feel about this system, whether you like it, whether you hate it, you should 100% be giving your feedback to Plarium, right? And that does not mean cursing at them. That does not mean being rude, but it does 100% mean giving feedback back. One thing I can definitely say, over the last year, they have been responding to feedback. Now, maybe not always in the way we want, maybe not always as fast as we want, but they have been responding to it and taking it seriously. The biggest feedback is, of course, your dollars. But I think the second one is, what are you saying? Are you tweeting at them? Are you messaging them on Facebook? Are you sending them Instagram posts? Are you, sending a Discord message? Are you, writing in the comments of their videos? Are you writing in the comments in the app stores how you feel about these new systems and things? That's an important way to convey your information back to them, and so that they can get that feedback and adjust the game for us. we don't enjoy playing it, that's not good for their bottom line. They will eventually make some changes. So definitely, I would say give them feedback on this system, how you feel about it. This, you know, the empowerment thing, I think, is going to be overblown as far as the impact of it. It worries me long term more than any of the other systems. But as far as the impact, I'm not sure that it's going to be as big as we're probably afraid it's going to be. And I guarantee we won't really know until, you know, several months down the line anyway. Obviously, the exchange rate system is, the token trader part is trash. It's just trash. There's no getting around that. You know, the values are all skewed in all the wrong ways. But I really like the the faction guardians. I think that's a great little bonus thing. So anyway, guys, I just want to share my thoughts on you with that. Obviously, I'm going to be having a couple videos talking about some new champions that we got that I was able to test on the test server here. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. I've got a few different clan boss builds coming up. I still have a couple of the Mytha builds that I needed to share with you guys and I've been slacking on. And so it should be a fun couple weeks coming up here. If you guys don't see me, happy holidays, but I will have some videos out in the next couple of days. So I'm sure I'll see you again till then. Yeah, but till then, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.